Welcome back, you pickup fiends. I'm going to show you what I've acquired over the past couple months since I haven't done a pickup video in quite some time. So let's begin. I'm going to start with the current gen, only the one game that I picked up, and then just take it from there. Alright, my current gen pickup I got here is the Capcom Digital Collection. And the reason why I picked it up is because of this game right here. Street Fighter 2, the HD remix. I know it's a DLC game and all, but I usually don't fuck with the DLC stuff, so I just never bothered to actually look into it. But then when I saw this in GameStop, they wanted about maybe, I don't know, like $30 or something for it, maybe $40, and I wasn't paying it. Then I actually saw it on Amazon and picked it up brand new for like $10, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's actually a really cool game and all that, and it's got Final Fight on there, which is pretty cool. Some of the other games are not bad and all, but the main reason is because of the Street Fighter, and I think that's a pretty damn good game and all otherwise. And also, I mean, some of the characters and all have like kind of a cardboard cutout type of look, so it's a very interesting looking game. Alright. Next up is going to be the Darkstalkers collection. This is for the PS2, and if you're unfamiliar with the Darkstalkers, basically it's Capcom's fighting game, which features like monsters and urban type of legends in them, and is very similar to Street Fighter, but in the sense of the motions and certain controls, but it focuses highly on chain combos. And this is really cool because this never came out here to the United States, and it features all of the Darkstalkers. There's about 5 of them, and it's a really good collection. You can see, fucking camera can focus here. You can see it has all 5 of them, which are actually considered like Vampire, Savior, or whatever it is over there and all. And each one of it is translated faithfully from the arcade. I know they came out with the PlayStation versions here out in the United States, the first one and the third one. While they're okay copies and all, they're a bit choppy due to the loss of animation and all. So not making them arcade perfect. Really awesome collection. If you own a Japanese PlayStation 2, and you like fighting games, especially the Darkstalkers collection, this should be definitely in your collection. Alright, the next one I'm going to show here on the screen. Let me get the volume up. Alright, if I can get the fucking volume up. Okay, what you're looking at right now is Fighting Vipers. And this is for the PS2. This was part of the Sega Aegis collection. And Fighting Vipers was one of the games that was remade for the PS2, making it, from what I can see, it's pretty much arcade perfect. Running at the 60 frame rate. And basically, if you don't know what this game is about, it's basically like Virtua Fighter, but with more of an urban attitude. And the fact of the matter is you can actually break the characters' clothes off, like their armor, and therefore making them vulnerable in spots. It's actually a really, really nice fighting game. It's pretty hard, too. Like I said, its controls are more of the Virtua Fighter rather than the Tekken type of controls. So it's a little hard to get used to, unless you've played the Virtua Fighter series and all, but it's actually a really cool game and all. I was hoping to actually see the intro and all, but keeps on going to this bullshit. But as you can see, very, very nice, smooth, and if you remember, this came out for the Sega Saturn back in the day, and so of course it wasn't as good as the arcade, but it was a pretty good translation. Here you can see it's like the demo real quickly. There you go. Figured I'd show that off to you. You know, really cool game. If you got, like I said, if you've got a Japanese PS2, I advise you to check it out. Really awesome game. All right, I'll show you the box and all. Here you go. Like I said, part of Sega Ages collection. Very, very nice fighting game. Get the box open. It even comes with the little card where tells you a bit about the game design, programmers. Even has the registration card to it. And here's something actually really awesome. I've actually never knew, and I'm probably going to try and track it down. Shit, if I can get the damn thing out. Is if you see right here. The Saturn controllers. Actually, Saturn controllers were made for the PS2. So I'm going to try and see if I can track them down, because Saturn controller for these type of fighting games would be really awesome, though. But probably really hard to track them down. So that's definitely something on my list of got to go try and see if I can get one of them. Alright, next up, fighting game is very similar to Fighting Vipers, and that game is Last Bronx. This game is a weapons fighter, a Sega weapons fighter, with like I said, very similar to Fighting Vipers in the sense of an urban type of atmosphere and attitude. Actually, a really cool game. I don't think it was really that well known in the arcade. As far as I remember, I'm pretty sure this definitely came to the Saturn also, but it's a really cool weapons fighter. And like I said, if you're into 3D Virtua type of games, you're really going to enjoy this game a lot, and it's really, really good and all that. It's like I said, it's just the controls kind of hard to get used to because it doesn't have that Tekken feel. It's the Virtual Fighter feel, but it's still a good game nonetheless. Definite need to check that out. All right, now we're going to go get into the main crux. What I picked up, some MVS pickups. Hold on one second. All right. Get some. Alright, here's some of the MVS pickups. You're going to see right here is Shock Troopers. Now, if you don't know what Shock Troopers is, it's very similar in the sense to Metal Slug. But whereas Metal Slug is a side scroller, this is more of a top view type of run and gun type of game. Really awesome. Let's see if we'll show the beginning now. Very, very awesome game. The second one isn't as good, but it's still good nonetheless. The first one is just incredible. Alright, I'll show you. This might cycle into the next game. Here's the next game. Sorry for the glare. Alright, you're looking at here is Breaker's Revenge. Basically, it's another one-on-one fighting game. This one's made by Visco. A lot of people consider this a huge ripoff of Street Fighter, and it is, absolutely, a lot of characters. But what makes it, even though the visuals aren't as impressive, nor is the sound, what makes it awesome is the playability. It's extremely addictive to play. Got tons and tons of special moves, supers. It's just a really awesome game to play as you see the explosions and all. Really, really nice game to, especially as a tournament game. From what I understand, in Japan, they still play the game. Here's the opening to Shock Troopers. Alright, going to move on to an AES game. Let me switch out. Second. And these aren't the only ones I picked up. I figured I'd just give you a show with these. And this game you're looking at right now is a 3-count bout wrestling game, as you can see. It's actually not a bad game. It's a little hard to get used to because of the tapping style of the joystick, and I mean some of the moves coming off are kind of random. But the characters, the large sprites, the announcer, everything from the audience definitely has a really awesome look and feel, like a real wrestling type of game or a wrestling environment, really. And this is actually one of the early Neo Geo releases and all, and it's a shame they actually never made another one of these games and all. It really is, because it's a pretty damn good game altogether. So yeah, it's 3-count bout, and it's a pretty awesome game. Alright, so let's move on. Alright, show you the next pickup. I guess I'll show you the S. Alright, get them right here. Alright, here's the box for 3-count bout, the wrestling game. Really cool, as you can see right here is the US version. I got it for a really good deal. Next up is going to be Alpha Mission 2. Now, interesting story about this. When I got it, the actual cartridge, I don't know if you can see over here, just kind of like a strip on here, where you see like a little peeling off. The actual cartridge on here, between the label and on the card itself, actually had a huge Blockbuster sticker right over here and on top of the label, and it was like kind of scratched off, but you can still see it says Blockbuster, and you might have a big question mark over your heads thinking, why the hell would it have a Blockbuster sticker? Well, here's a bit of little trivia, boys and girls. Before the Neo Geo was actually released to the consumer market, it was actually available via rental chains, such as Blockbuster or West Coast Video or whatever. That's how it was able to be available for people to play, and SNK used this as a marketing tool or a survey in order to gauge people's reaction, and that's what actually made the home system come out and all. And I would have kept the sticker on here, the Blockbuster one, if it wouldn't have been defacing the label, and the sticker would have been like in pretty good condition. I would have kept it on as maybe as a piece of history, but it was defacing the label. It was all scratched and tore up, and I was using this product called Duck, and it has this little plastic blade on the end that it was able to get the sticker off and the residue and all, because the Blockbuster sticker adhesives are really, really hard to get off and all. I don't know what kind of glue they use on it, but they're goddamn hard to get off. Alright, next up for AES, I picked up is Riding Hero, and this game came basically fairly brand new. So if you look right here, you can see the seal is still intact, and it was still intact when I got it. And I'll show you something interesting. Another part of trivia or fun fact is if you look at the cart, you'll see a little hole right on top of there, and that hole was for connectivity, where you can actually connect two Neo Geos, two TVs, together and play like a link-up play. And it actually came with the wire and all, but I thought the wire might be some type of special SNK thing and all, but it's actually not. It's just like a little prong into, a little earphone type of thing, and it goes into this jack and then to another jack. But it's still really cool. In the baggie, came in almost brand new conditioning. So really cool to have it. It's actually a really hard game, so it makes it not that much, it doesn't really make it enjoyable to play because the game is so damn hard. Alright, next up, a football game. And this is Football Frenzy, right here. It's US dog tag version. Game is okay. Graphically, it's subpar. The problem with the game is that it's really hard to understand the plays and how your character's moving on screen. It looks like SNK kind of did a rush job or didn't really have an understanding of the concept of American football, whereas they have an understanding of the concept of football, the European one, like the soccer. But here, it didn't do so much of a great job on it, but it's a cool game. It has its own little charm to it, but all in all, it's not one of the playable sports games on it. That's why they never made a sequel to it, and this was the only final one and all. Alright, now I'm going to show you, this is going to be MVS pickups, And my MVS pickup is Shock Troopers. This is the second squad one. Show you the cart real quickly. I forgot to show you the other carts real quickly. See here? Label intact. And actually I got Shock Troopers 1 and 2 for at the same time. The seller was selling them as like a deal from Korea. Cool shock box. Alright, next up, like I said, here's the box to Shock Troopers. And I'll show you the label to Shock Troopers right here. As you can see right there. There's also Breaker's Revenge. You can see serial numbers are intact. Great game, like I said. Very much like Metal Slug, just top view. Okay, next up is going to be Savage Rain. Now, if you remember me doing that overview on Zoom Encounter, you'll see a lot of similarities in this game and all, but this game isn't as good. Label's intact, but the numbers have been kind of like scratched off or worn off and all. Not a bad game nonetheless. See right here. Cool little shock box. Alright. Next up, I did an overview on, is Double Dragon. Let's see. Like I said, did the overview. It's a cool little game. Still got a little bit of the numbers left on it. Better over here. Pretty cool fighter. Alright. Should have closed the goddamn box. Okay. And I also picked up boxes for Rage of the Dragons. I showed that in my previous pickup video. Really cool. Box for Kazune Encounter. That's the one I did the overview on. That Old School 81 requested. Okay. Okay, next up, got the box for Voltage Fighter Gao-Kaiser. I featured this in my last pickups, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And last MVS game picked up is Blazing Star. I just did the overview. As you can see, this label is fake, but the boards are actually they're legit. So I was happy to have this because this game goes for god-awful expensive prices and all. And the last box I'm going to show or anything is the box to Last Blade 2. If you remember, I sent Old School my screwed up copy, and I got an actual a better copy from the seller because it had issues, so they sent me a new one out. So I gave it to my old copy to Old School 81 to see if he can actually get it together and work, to have a functioning game. But yeah, other than that, that's really about it as far as pickups. I actually initially had this game, Breakers, which is, of course, the prequel to Breaker's Revenge. But what happens is that the seller listed it as originals, but when I opened up the boards, they were like 100% like fake. It's a shame though, because I really wanted this game. And this game is kind of really hard to find. So anybody has an interest in the game, if you want it, just PM me and see what we can do. I mean, it's not legit, but it does work. So, but yeah, so basically that's my pickups and all. So I've been getting for the last couple months, and yeah. And alright then, this video is going on way too long, and take care.